class. So in this GPS 19, we're going to look at finding the equation of a line from its graph. So before, we were graphing lines. Now we're going to learn how to read some of these graphs and figure out their equation from reading their graph. So let's look at 19.2. All right, now, when you're trying to figure out the equation of a line from a graph, okay, the strategy is to pick 2 points on this graph, okay? So let's pick 2 nice points on the graph. So one of the nice points is always the y-intercept, okay? So y-intercept is always a good point. So always pick the y-intercept as one of your points, okay? That's 1 point. And again, you want to pick 2 points, okay? So that's one of my points. And there's a nice point right here, the x-intercept. Okay, so here are my 2 points, x-intercept and y-intercept. So basically, you always count the slope from left to right. So we're always going to look this way. Okay, you're always going to look left to right. So you're always going to look at the leftmost point, and you ask yourself, how do I get from this point all the way to this point? Okay, how do I go from this point all the way to that one, from left to right? Okay, so you always look at the points from left to right. So how do I do that? So the first thing we're going to do is we always go up or down. So I'm going to start counting. So how do I go from here to here? I'm going to count. I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So how much did I go up? So I went up 4. Okay? I went up 4, and then I went to the right 5. Okay? You can count that again. Just make sure. So I always remember, you start with the leftmost point and you try to get to that point. How do I get there? You go up first, all right? Up or down first. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So that's my slope. So my slope here, say m, is 4/5, right? I went up, so it's gonna be positive, right? I went up, so that means my the numerator is positive, up 4 and then right 5. So the denominator is where you go right, and we went right 5. My slope is 4/5. And if you remember, the equation of a slope, the equation of the line is y equals to mx plus b. So we know the slope, right? The slope is 4/5. So what is b? B is our y-intercept. Remember that? Okay, b is the y-intercept. So what's the y-intercept? The y-intercept is right here, right? That's my b. And what is that? B is 1, 2, 3, 4. B is 4, right? So we just put everything together. So what's the equation of the line? The equation of the line is y equals to m. We know m. That's our. Let's just write everything out. So that's our equation, right? So y is equal to m is 4/5 x, and then what's b? B is positive 4. Okay, and there you go. That's the equation of our line. Okay, so remember, when you're going from the leftmost point to the other point, you're always going to go either up or down first. Okay, you go up or down first before you go to the right. So keep that in mind. If you're going up, it's going to be positive. If you're going down, it's going to be negative. So let's look at another example. And again, you can make sure, right? Positive slope, increasing line, right? Okay, let's look at another one. So again, you can pause it here and try the next one if you want to. And then just, watch the video for the solution. Let's do the next one together. Okay, so again, let's pick 2 points. Always, the first point you should pick is the y-intercept. So I'm always going to pick the y-intercept as one of my points. So right there, I'll pick that point. Okay, and let's pick another point. Well, here the y-intercept is not too nice, right? It's like a fraction. So I see another nice point right here, right? You want to pick a point that hits exactly one of the boxes. So like right here. So that's another point. Or this one was another point, right? You could have picked this one down here, or you could have picked this one up here. Okay. Either point you could have used. Okay, you could have used this one, or you could have used this one. But since I used that one, I'm just gonna use that one. So the question is, how do I get from this point all the way to this point? Remember, you go up or down first. So first, I'm gonna have to go down, right? I'm gonna go down how much? Down. What's that? 1, 2. So I went down 2. So that's going to be -2, right? I went down 2. 1, 2, and I'm going to go to the right how many? I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3. So I went 3 to the right. So that's my slope. So my slope is going to be negative 2 over 3. And then what's the y-intercept? This one's our y-intercept, right? And what's that? That's 1, 2, 3. That is b equals to 3, or 0, 3, right? So then put everything together. So it's y equals to mx plus b. So y is equal to, slope is negative 2 over 3 x, and then b is 3, so plus 3, right? Positive 3, so it's plus 3. And there you go. That's our equation. Okay. You would have gotten the same thing if you picked the other point. So let's say, okay, well, I mean, this is the solution, okay? So let's say you didn't choose this bottom point, right? Remember I said you could pick any 2 points, right? Let's say you picked that one, and let's say you chose this point up here, okay? Remember, you pick any 2 points you want. Let's say you pick that point up there. So then, you're kind of doing the same thing, right? How do I, remember, you always go left to right. So how do I get from this red point all the way to this blue point? Well, I had to go down. How many did I go down? I had to go down 1, 2. See, I had to go down 2, so that's negative 2. And then I had to go right. 1, 2, 3. See, so I had to go right 3. So you would have gotten the same thing. Slope is still negative 2 over 3. And your y-intercept is still b, or 3, right? Y-intercept is still 3. So then, what's the equation? Y equals to negative 2 over 3x plus 3. Okay? So you would have gotten the same answer. Another way you could have technically done it, which is a little bit more complicated, is you could have technically said this point. Actually, well, forget it. Let's not make things too complicated. But another thing you could have done is label this point, so then you would have 2 points. Then you can find the slope and then use the point slope formula to get the equation. But it's much easier just counting right on the graph. All right, let's look at the next one. Right, so same thing. Let's pick 2 points. So always pick the y-intercept first. Here's your y-intercept. Okay, that's one of my points. Let's pick another point. I see this one right away, so let's just pick that one. Okay, or you could have picked this one down here, right? You could have picked this point down here if you wanted to, right? But I just saw this one first, so I'm just gonna pick that one. But you could have used this one. And again, we always start left to right. Okay, so you're always looking left to right. So how do I get from this left point to this point? Okay, so remember, you always go up or down first. So I'm going to go up. Go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I actually went up 4. And then I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3. I went right 3. So there's my slope. My slope is positive 4 over 3 because I went to the right. And I went up, right? Up, up, and then 3. Remember, you always go up or down first. And then what's my y-intercept? Well, that's my y-intercept. That is b equals 2. That's negative 1, right? Or 0, negative 1, which is just negative 1, right? So when you put the equation together, you're going to get y equals to mx plus b. So y is equal to m is our slope, which is 4 over 3. X is x. And then minus 1, because b is minus 1. Right? And there you have it. That's our equation. Right? I have an increasing line, and my slope is positive. That makes sense. All right, let's go on to another one. Okay, so here's one again. Pick 2 points. Always the y-intercept first. Always pick the y-intercept first. So here's my y-intercept. And let's just pick this one over here. Okay, see, that's a nice point. All right, so again, the question is, how do I get from the left point, this one, right? This point, the left point, to the right point? How do I go from the left point to the right point? Again, you have to go up or down first. So let's go down. So I have to go down, right? So I'm going to go down 1, 2. So I went down 2, so that's negative 2. And I have to go right. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went right 5. Right? 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So my slope here is going to be negative 2 over 5. Okay, and what's the y-intercept? Well, that's my y-intercept. What's that guy? That guy is negative 1, 2, 3. That guy is negative 3. B is negative 3. Or 0, negative 3, right? So again, equation of the line, y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to negative 2 over 5x minus 3, right? Because b is negative 3, so it's just going to be minus 3. And there you have it. Okay? And I mean, you should do it on your own in your notebook, okay? Make sure you count everything properly. Let's go on. Okay, so I have like maybe 2 more problems left. 1 problem left. 1, 2, 2 more. Yeah, okay. So same thing. You're gonna pick y-intercept, of course. So 0, 0. Pick another point. I don't know. I see this one right away. Okay. So again, I'm gonna go from left. Up or down first, and go from the left point to the right point. So I'm gonna go from the left point to the right point. So what do I have to do to go to the right point? 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's up 4, so it's going to be positive 4, and then right 1. Okay, so therefore my slope is 4 over 1. Okay, or just 4. Right? Because I went up, so it's positive, right? If I had to go down, then it would be negative. So what's my y-intercept? Well, my y-intercept b is 0, right? The coordinate is 0, 0. So it's just going to be y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to 4x, and then b is 0. So that's it, right? It's like plus 0, but plus 0, you don't have to write that. So b, you know what I mean? So it's just that. There you go. All right, let's look at the last one. So same idea. You have this point here, y-intercept. Always plot that one first. And let's see, I see a point right here. Okay, let's use that one. Okay, or you could have used this one over here, right? Doesn't matter. So what happens? I'm going to go from the left point to the right point. So how do I get from left to right? So I went down 1, right? So that's going to be negative 1. I went down 1. And I'm going to go right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually 6 across. So that's my slope. My slope is negative 1 over 6, right? Negative because I went down. And what's my y-intercept? This guy here is 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy is 5. So what's the equation? Y equals to negative 1 over 6x plus 5. There you go. Okay, make sure, right? I have a negative slope. My line is going down. Okay, it should always, match. Remember we mentioned that? Okay, and that's it for GPS 19. Yep, again, if you have any questions, rewatch the video again, pause when you need to. And if you have any questions, additional questions, you can post on the discussion forum. All right, see you next time.